Hello everyone and welcome back. So in this episode, we'll be looking into variables in PHP, which is very easy to understand. Then we'll be discussing what are variables. Then also we'll be discussing the use of variables, examples of variables, and why PHP variable are smarter than other programming languages. So I won't be talking about other languages that much, but some other programming languages, their variables are complex and very hard to understand, but on PHP the variables is very simple and easy to understand. So that is one advantage of PHP variable over other programming language. And we'll be discussing some important interview questions as well. So let's go to the first one, which is what are variables. So on this we have two definitions. One is a bit simple, the other one is a bit advanced. So if they say what is variable, the simple definition is that the variable are storage location. So variable is storage location that can store any kind of data, example name, number, email address, username, and so on. So and variable storing data is not only applicable to PHP but also the same way it works on other programming language. Then secondly, you can also say variable is an abstract storage location. With this word abstract, it gives the definition a more advanced meaning. And let me let you know how. So when we say abstract, for example, on a physical world, if you want to store water, you can store water in a bottle, or you can store it in a cup or in a container. All these things are concrete. So these are the things that you can see, you can touch, you can feel. These are concrete. But abstract in terms of variable is like a storage location that you cannot just touch. So that is what we mean by abstract. So when we say variable is an abstract storage location, that means this is something that you cannot physically touch. It is abstract. For example, in your memory card, you can have some song in it, and these songs are inside the memory. You know they are there, but you cannot touch them. That is the meaning of abstract. There's no way you can touch them. So the same way on variable, where you store the name, email address, number, etc. in the data, all these are something that you cannot just touch. So that is why we say it is an abstract storage location. Okay, so that is the definition of variable. So this is location that will be storing all the data that we're going to be discussing, like number, email, array, string, list, and every other thing that we're going to be discussing as this episode goes on will be stored inside a variable. So now let's talk about the uses of variables. So when we talk in about use of variables, there are a lot of uses to it that we're going to be discussing on the upcoming part of this course. But on a basic level, let me just let you know, variable is used to save data that is going to be used in multiple times. That means if you are working on a project and you know that there's a data, perhaps a name that is going to be used in multiple places, so you can save it on a variable. So let's say for example you are using Facebook or LinkedIn, you notice that there are times that a particular name comes out in different places on the website. So this kind of things now is what you use variables for, to save data that you know that you use in multiple times in the project. And the reason why we do this is because in case you want to change that particular data or name, instead of you changing it across multiple places, you can just change it in one variable declaration, and then it is going to like apply to every other places that that particular data or name has appeared. So if you're not getting it, don't worry. I'm going to create a program now to explain to you better. First, I'll create one more file and then just save as variable.php, and this is the file here. If I refresh it, you can see it has updated. So the next thing we're going to do right now is to go under that variable and then write in the PHP tag. So let me do that real quick. And then in between, for now, I'll just put in hello in the echo. So if you do not know about echo, you can go back to our previous video. There's a link in the description that link to the playlist. So let's say you want to display a name 5 times on a web page. So for example, now I know there might not be a reason for you to want to display a particular name 5 times on a row, but if it's on a complex website, there might be a reason for you to want to have a particular name appearing 5 times in different places on the website. Now what you can do is to first of all write the name, let's say Anil, and then give a line break and then echo and then put in BR, something like this. Then you can now copy this now and repeat it 5 times. That is 1. If I refresh, it is 1. Repeat it again, 2, 3, and then 4. I think I've done 5 times now. So that is how we do it 5 times. And now let's say, for example, the client now come to you and tell you that I change this name to another thing. Let's say like Sidu. So you can now go there manually and start changing all the name one by one in 5 times. Mind you, it can be more than this. That is one way of doing it. Now you see it has updated now to the new name. So let's assume that the client come again and check that you change the name to, let's say, James. So that is going to be a time taking process. You know, right now this example is just like 5 lines, but on a big project it could be more than this and it will take time. So what you can just easily do is to create a variable as name. And then one thing you need to know is that when you start creating a variable, you start it with a $sign. There are also some other protocol that you need to follow, but I will be teaching you that as time goes. We are creating more and more variables, because if I say I should teach you all the protocols involved in variable in only this one video, it will be too long and I don't want that to happen. So in creating a variable, you just have to start now by saying $sign, then name, then equal to, now you open semicolon and put in the name that you want, let's say Annie Sidu, then you close it. That's all. So right now I'm just going to be replacing that echo string with name. So just copy it and then replace each and every one with that variable name. Replace it with variable name. The same thing for everything like that. Now, what will be the implication of this is that if I refresh this now, you see it has all changed to that variable declaration. So now if the client come now and say you change the name to another name, let's say for example, say you change the name now to Sam. Instead of changing it one after the other in everything, just change it on the variable, and immediately if I go to the browser now, it is going to affect every other thing you see now. So that is how variable works. Let me give another example. Let's say echo, and let me clear up this one. I think 3 of these are okay. Then let's do some mathematical expression. Let's say like echo 10 times 5. So that should be 50. Close it and then save and refresh it. You see now it's there, perfect. So what about in a scenario where you have like, multiple calculations? You can say this one, copy it now and then paste it, and then change this one to 50, 10 times 50, and then do another one again, 10 times 3. So save it and check the results. So now we have the results. Now what if the client come back and say, okay, I want you to change the 10 to 7, and do 7 times 5 like this, and then 7 times 50, 7 times 3. Save that one too, and you see we have the new result here. So let's say the client come and say change the 7 to 50. That will be stressful if it is like a very big project that we have like too much. So just go and create a new variable, $sign num equal to 50. So that means now you're creating a variable as 50, then you just change this to num, and then you go down to the echo to and change the 7 to num, change the 7 to num as a variable, and then you save and you see the new results. So next time the client come or manager, anybody tell you to change the number, you just go here and change the value of the num. Let's say you have to change it to like 100, Then that's just how you have to do and save it, and then you see it there. So anything you change in this value of the variable is going to affect everything here. It is that simple. So that is how you can use variable in PHP. So let's go to interview question. I hope you enjoyed this session. Or before that, let's say you have one question. Why is PHP variable are smarter than some other languages? So if you have ever used other programming languages like C++, on that you need to declare the data type. It is boolean, character string, and so on. But in PHP, you don't need to declare the data type. It automatically detects that by itself. So it is smart. For example, let's say I can come here now and create a variable as any equals to 10 and then close it. So if I create an echo as any, and if I save that now, automatically it's going to give us the value. If I refresh it, you see, which is any, which is equal to 10, give us the value of the variable. Then if I change the any, like if I change the value as hello, automatically too, if I save it, it's going to replace it as hello. I've changed the name from 10 to hello. So here you don't need to declare any data type, either character, boolean, or string. Everything is smart, and it works automatically. So that will be all on variable under PHP. So let's proceed into the next episode of the course.